Hi, I'm Curious Mind, and I'm a learner. I love to learn, and one of the best way to learn something is to teach it to somebody else. Today, we'll go over atomic habits. So exactly what does atomic habits mean? Atomic means that it's the small particles that exist around us. It could be anything, a daily routine that you do it without even you consciously recognizing it, like breathing, you brushing your teeth without noticing that you are brushing your teeth. There are six main ideas that I collected from reading the book itself. That is, the first main idea is being 1% better every day. Being 1% better than every day is mean that you just need to start small and find a thing that is currently happening in your daily routine and change it by improving it 1% every day. The benefit of this mindset is you can start slow and little. You don't need a big change for you to be overwhelmed. One interesting fact about being 1% better than every day is if you change 1% of what's currently happening throughout a whole year, the result is you will change total of 37.78% from the day that you just start. So after a whole year, you would change 37.78% than you are currently right now. The next main idea that I collected from Atomic Habits is that you just need to focus on your system. So one thing that you can observe right now is athletes, from winner athletes and loser athletes, they all both has the same goal. But what is the difference between the winners and the loser? The winner is actually focusing on system, and loser focus on goals. So for an example, there's a 5-year-old that he's really want to convince his parents to buy him a new toy, but his parents are really strict. So instead of focusing on how he can convince his parents to buy him a new toy, he just need to focus on how he can get there to convince his parents to buy him a new toy. So when he analyzes it, he can figure it out that he can be a good student at school, he can help his parents to do chores, he can help. So the main point is you just need to, instead of focusing on the top of the mountain, you just need to focus on the little step that you are stepping into that mountain. The next main idea that we're going through is identity change. There are three types of changes that are occurring in your in your body, mentally, behavior. The first one is outcome change. The second one is process change. And the third one is identity change. So to be clear that outcome change will be this big circles and process change is the second circle, and identity change is the smaller circle. So when James Clear observing human behavior of how did they change their behavior, or he noticed that people usually focus on the outcome change, that is an achievement they get, a physique change that they see, a something change about themselves, etc. Then deeper than the outcome change are the process change, that instead of focusing on the achievement, the trophy that they will going to get, they will focusing on the activities that will get them there. For example, they will focusing on running to run a marathon. They will focusing on study harder, study better for a better SAT score, for example. Smaller than that is the smaller circle, that is identity change. Identity change is you need to identity change is you change your perspective about yourself, change how you behave, how you do your activities, how you think. For example, instead of focusing on what activity are you going to do, you focusing on who are you? Who exactly are you right now to be able to do that certain activities? Because sometimes when you do something, you will experience a barrier of yourself that you cannot escape from it. Yeah, you will say that, oh, I'm not good at it, I'm not made for it, or I'm not just good at it, I'm bad at it, I'm stuck at it. If you change yourself that, oh, I can do it, I can learn, for example, you want to read 10 books in 1 month. That is the outcome change. That is an achievement. That is a goal that you need to go get there. The process change for that behavior is you need to read at least 2 or 3 books a week to get 10 books a month. And a deeper identity change is you can believe in yourself that, oh, you are a reader. You can read 2 or 3 books in 1 week. So to occur that mindset, you can say yourself that you are a reader. Sorry for my writing. You are a learner. You are a athlete. Okay, so we go into bad habits, the opposite of good habits. So this one is I'm really excited about to tell you my example for a 5-year-old. The main point is the first thing you need to make it invisible. That is hard to see. You cannot see it really often because when your eye look at something, you will have a trigger that you really want to do something. The second is make it ugly. Just make it unattractive, make it disgusting when you look at something that you just don't want to see it. And the third thing is make it hard. Make it boring. Like after a whole thing, you don't receive anything and you just feel lame, feel bored about it. So that's how you get rid of the bad habits, by applying these 4 methods right here. For my for my example for a 5-year-old is the targets for the 5-year-old to make friends with is, for example, Mr. President. Okay, is Mr. President hard to see? What are the chances that a 5-year-old kid, would see a president? Probably less than 1%. It's a tiny percent, right? It's really hard to see Mr. President. And is it ugly? Is Mr. President pretty? Is he attractive to a 5-year-old kid compared to a 5-year-old kid's eyes, right? Not his favorites. He probably would see Mr. Beast than Mr. President. Make it hard. For example, make it hard. Just saying that the kids really get to see the Mr. President, but all he talk about is the politics, the environment. The 5-year kids doesn't comprehend that. It doesn't understand what Mr. President is saying. So, turn out the conversation was really hard for him to understand. And make it boring. Then the fourth is make it boring. Mr. President, the fourth is make it boring. The conversations was just purely misconfusions, and the kids doesn't understand what the president was saying. And turns out he doesn't understand what he's saying. The kids doesn't understand what he's saying. What the Mr. President. The fourth thing is make it boring. Lame. The fourth thing is make it boring. Mr. President and the boy conversations were really confusing the kid. He doesn't understand what Mr. President was talking about. And turns out the kid doesn't like it. He doesn't want to talk to Mr. President no more because he has this blonde hair that is really like a raccoon. And it's really lame to the kid, right? The next main idea that we were going through, the next main idea to The next main idea to include in your mindset, the next main idea to include in your mindset is good habits. Is good habits. To make a good habits that last long and really make you easy and really effective is the first thing you need to make it visible, which means that it has to be easy to see. For example, you want to read a book, you should place that book somewhere that when you walk into a room, you have to see it first. Make it attractive is the second. Okay, you see a book on the right front of your door, in front of your door. Okay, you see a book in front of your door, but the title and the book cover doesn't look attractive to you. So you might want to make it mystery. You want to make the title a little more attractive, a little more tempting for you. Make sure it looks tempting. Make sure it looks good, it looks beauty to you. And when you read it, make sure it's easy. Like a book, it's only have 3 or 4 pages that you use to flip, and you see all of these pictures. That's super easy for you to read. It's quick and low effort. You learn a lot from that books, which make you really satisfied. You realize that, oh, you learn a lot from that book, which lead to your high dopamine. You will realize that, oh, I learned a lot from that book just by flipping a few pages over and over again. So to explain it in a better way, I have a story of a 5-year-old. I have a story of a 5-year-old want to make friends at school. So this 5-year-old at school, he want to make friends. But first, his friends are. But first, he have to see someone, strangers, peers. But he doesn't know. He doesn't socially interact with them. So first, he has to see one of them. He has to see somebody, then nobody. The key is he has to see it. And the second one is it's attractive. So in all of those people, he saw this one pretty girl that is really attractive to him. Her hair is brunette, whatever, blonde, that he's really like. He saw that girl is cute, and then he walked up to her. He started a conversations, and turned out she was really friendly, which is led to the third cue. The third happening is that it's actually really easy to talk with that girl. And when they have a conversations, that the conversation throughout was amazing. They had a good conversations. They laugh. They make their best impress. They make their best impression, which led to that. Their conversations were really satisfying, and that 5-year-old really want to get to know to the girl more than the next day they met. Really want to get to know the girl, which led to the next time he see the girl or someone else, he will more likely to go talk to them instead of just chose not to. So that is how a good habits start to happen. You can apply this in your daily routine. The next main idea that we're going through is identity change. There are 3 types of changes that are occurring in your body, mentally, behavior. The first one is outcome change, and the second one is process change, and the third one is identity change. So to be clear, that outcome change will be this big circles, and process change is the second circle, and identity change is the smaller circle. So when James Clear observing human behavior of how did they change their behavior, or he seeing observing any change in human behavior, that he noticed that people usually focus on the outcome change, that is an achievement they get, a physique change that they see, a something change about themselves or an achievement, etc. And then deeper than the outcome change are the process change, that instead of focusing on the achievement, the trophy that they will going to get, they will focusing on the activities that will get them there. For example, like they will focusing on running to achieve being an athlete of running. For example, to run a marathon, they were focusing on study harder, study better for a better SAC score, for a better SAT score, for example. Smaller than that is the smaller circle, that is identity change. Identity change is you need to, identity change is you change your perspective about yourself, that will likely change how you behave, how you do your activities, how you think. For example, instead of focusing on what activity are you going to do, you focusing on who are you, who exactly are you right now to be able to do that certain activities. Because sometimes when you do something, you will experience a barrier of yourself that you cannot escape from it. Yeah, you will say that, oh, I'm not good at it, I'm not made for it, or I'm not just good at it, I'm bad at it, I'm stuck at it. If you change yourself that, oh, I can do it, I can learn, I can something. For example, you want to read 10 books in 1 month. That is the outcome change. That is an achievement. That is a goal that you need to go get there. The process change for that behavior is you need to read at least two or three books a week to get 10 books a month. And a deeper identity change is you can believe in yourself that, oh, you are a reader. You can read 2 or 3 books in 1 week. So to occur that mindset, you can say yourself that you are a reader. Sorry for my writing. You are a learner. You are a athlete. Thank you guys for listening to my explanation. I would recommend that you guys read the Atomic Habits. These are just my explanation in my own words. So the last main idea that we will going through is the Goldilocks rules. So the important thing is you need to pick out the right challenge for you to do. If it was too hard, you will most likely give up. If it was too easy, you just do it too easy, you'll feel unmotivated. But if you just do it right, chose the right challenge for you to achieve, you will leading into that challenge. You feel motivated, and after you finish it, you feel satisfied. So let me repeat this. When it's too hard, you gave up. When it's too easy, you will likely feel unmotivated or unsatisfied when you achieve that. But when it's just right, the right amount of challenge for you, you will feel motivated and satisfied. For example, if you're a intermediate runner, if you're an intermediate, if you are, for example, if you're an intermediate runner, you chose to run 20 miles, which you haven't run that far or that much before. You'll be feel overwhelmed and you will more likely to give up. But what if you chose only 1 miles? You've been run for 10 miles, for 5 miles. Now you should run 1 miles. You feel unsatisfied, you feel unmotivated, like you can do much more. But by choosing the right amount of challenge for you to do, you will look like you will most likely to feel motivated and satisfied after you achieve the goals. Let's for example that you can only run 10 miles before, but now you chose to run 15 miles. That's a reasonable amount of running, and it's also keep you to motivate, and after you achieve that, you really do feel satisfied that you achieved that goals.